Hey guys, welcome to Octopunk Weekly Update. Sort of. This is going to be really chill today. I have nothing prepared. But, you know, this is my face, and this is all of you. So we are together again after the long break of shooting Detroit Evolution. This is an update on all things that, and sort of in like an open forum of like, okay, what are we doing, you know? We're going to talk about the movie and Patreon and whatever else I can come up with in the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Thanks for joining. The reason I have nothing prepared is because basically we finished on November 1st. Oh God, it's already November 11th. 10 days ago at this point, almost 2 weeks. What's my excuse? I took basically 3 or 4 days off because I hadn't slept during the entirety of the shoot. And then I had 3 days of client work and then 3 days of film festival to attend. So I've been a little swamped. I actually just had to go 6 whole days without looking at my footage at all. And that was actually kind of painful. Thank you, Hazelnut, for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 6 months. I need to clearly update. Oh, we do have a 6-month badge. Okay, but that means I need to update like the 9-month badge or whatever because people are getting close. Hey, Jazz, you see I'm hydrating. I'm very dehydrated right now. I just crawled out of bed like half an hour ago. I know it's noon. I was up way too late last night because I was having withdrawal from my footage after all those days of working for clients and all those days of being at the film festival. And I stayed up till like 5 in the morning looking at stuff. So yeah, basically I had some withdrawal from Detroit Evolution, and I binge watched some footage and like edited some stuff and synced some audio. So yeah, but actually, speaking of the film festival, so I guess this is worth mentioning. I won an award, so this is cool. So the festival is South Carolina Underground Film Festival. It's local here in Charleston. I've screened there like once before, but I've never actually really had anything for the festival. Aside from like a couple of music videos and stuff here and there. And I ended up winning this for 7. Well, I didn't win it for 7 Deadly Sins. 7 Deadly Sins screened there this year. But this award is for Best South Carolina Filmmaker. And what they told me is that it's encompassing of kind of a whole year of work or a whole like body of work, I suppose. And so this is a really great honor. I didn't even know they had this award, and I feel like of all the years, this means a lot this year because this is the year where Livestream came out on Blu-ray, so my last feature film has gone worldwide distribution. I took Detroit Awakening from concept to completion. I took 7 Deadly Sins from concept to mostly completion, at least for the film festival circuit. It's in a watchable state for some people. I took Detroit Evolution from concept through the shoot, and then we took Fame Fatale through the funding stage and then pre-production. And we were going to shoot it, but I ended up pushing it back till the spring. More on that in a sec, actually. And so, yeah, we've had like 5 films that we've had our hands in some capacity in the past like 10 months. So this means a lot this year because I do feel like I'm definitely the most filmmaker. I don't know if I'm the best, but I am the most. And also congrats to Michael Smallwood for winning one of these little guys. He won Audience Choice for his film How Many Times? And then my friend Scott Johnson won for Best Writing for his feature Flesher. So a lot of love going around at the festival yesterday. And yeah, so Zell, I think that you have the first badge because you were our first subscriber. So it's like one of those honorary founder badges, which is kind of cool at the same time as irritating that they won't let you keep your other badges. But a lot of you should actually have those founder badges. I'm surprised Pillow doesn't have one because I feel like Pillow was one of our first 10 subscribers. I think Jazz might have one. No, maybe Twitch Prime. I remember a few of you like were definitely in the first 10, so I don't know what Twitch is doing. Who knows? But speaking of Twitch Prime, if you're not currently a subscriber, you can subscribe with Twitch Prime for free. Remember that. You can go up there and click subscribe for free, and we get the royalties to help pay off the overage of DE, because I did take up a little bit of a loan. It'll be fine. But we didn't quite get there with the budget, but it was worth it because we had some really amazing locations and a really amazing cinematographer. And even though that bumped up the budget a little bit, completely worth it. And so I want to actually talk about, I'll talk about that in a sec. I'll circle back around to Fame Fatale. So halfway through filming Detroit Evolution, when I think I had gotten like 18 hours of sleep across like 5 or 6 days. Yeah, it was bad. I ended up, I think it was a day off when I was talking to either Maximilian, I think I talked to Maximilian first, and I was like, we have to shoot Fame Fatale in 3 weeks, and I am not prepared. Because Fame Fatale's shoot date was November 21st. So literally like 3.5 weeks, 3 weeks after the wrap of DE. And I have been woefully unprepared for pre-production for that because I've been working so much on DE. And thank you, Kiney and Ninja, for subscribing with Twitch Prime and regular subscription. A 5-month streak for both. Hi, Kim. Yeah, so anyway, so it was really bogging me down and stressing me out that I had not prepared enough for that film. And so I talked to Michael Daly, my co-writer and the star of the film, and basically I was like, I don't think I can do this in 3 weeks. Like, I don't think it will be good if we do it in 3 weeks because I don't have enough time to prepare. And, you know, for tax reasons and also for, you know, venue reasons, it's kind of a bummer that we had to push it. But ultimately we came to some decisions that I think will be fine. Like, ultimately it was fine. Like, I don't know why I thought it wouldn't be fine that we could push that project, because when I did and everybody agreed with me and was just like, thank fucking God you're moving this. I believe that was what Michael Smallwood told me, was thank fucking God. We ended up pushing it to the spring. And so it'll be shot, actually summer, I suppose. It'll be shot in June, most likely. And then we're going to finish it by September. And then there's some October film festivals that we really like that we're going to eye for a world premiere for the festival circuit. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer on Fame Fatale, but it's been like the longest development of any movie that I've ever made at this point. So, you know, what's another 6 months? I will take a break for Christmas, Simona. That's sort of the other point, is that I wanted to take December off, like, completely. And I'll still probably stream and stuff. I'll do stuff for you guys, but, like, literally, you guys will be the only people I do anything for. I won't be editing for clients. I won't be working on any film. I mean, I will be working on Detroit Evolution. I am going to try to get a rough cut of Detroit Evolution done by the end of the year so that Austin can start working on the music. But honestly, Detroit Evolution does not feel like work to me. I have to make sure that it doesn't become work, but ultimately I miss being away from it when I'm not in front of it, which ought to tell you how happy I am with how it came out, because I just keep wanting to go back and watch scenes over and over, even scenes that are kind of like, you know, procedural, like the GIF that I posted on Twitter, the Move Your Feet GIF. That's in a scene that is honestly very procedural. They're at the DPD, they're just talking about this case, but there's a lot of charm in that scene due to Chris and Maximilian's performances, and a lot to love even in those little like procedural scenes. So in the scenes which are very focused on their relationship, those scenes especially shine, and those are the scenes that I really can't, you know, get away from. Lone Lion asks, are we going to get a trailer for DE before it comes out? Of course, you know me, I'm not going to miss an opportunity for hype. We're actually going to get at least 2 trailers. I'm planning on doing a traditional trailer release the way they would do in a big studio, where you basically get a teaser trailer first, and then you get a like theatrical trailer, which is, you know, a teaser trailer is probably going to be like a minute, and it's not going to really tell you that much. It's mostly just going to be imagery and maybe some voiceover, and then your theatrical trailer might actually sort of break down the plot a little bit and that sort of thing. And you might get a third one. You might get like a pre-launch trailer like the week before it comes out or something, but I think that the 2 will probably be enough. I don't want to give away too much, and cutting trailers is actually really hard, especially with a movie like this where there's so much that we don't want to give away, and some of the biggest moments in the film that, like, visually would make really cool trailer shots are completely spoilery, so we kind of have to work around that a little bit and be like, all right, like, what can we show? And you know, there will be things, I'm gonna say, at least in the theatrical trailer, maybe not the teaser trailer so much, that some of you might want to not watch the trailers if you want to go in completely blind, because there are going to be some things we do have to kind of give away. I'm very careful about making sure that the things that I do give away are things that either are very early on in the movie, or they're things where it's like, oh, we're still holding enough close to the vest to where there's still plenty for you to be surprised by, and, you know, it's plenty for you to not be spoiled by when you actually watch the film. But yeah, it's kind of borderline, like, teaser trailer, like, I wouldn't worry about it at all. I think we're gonna keep things very intriguing and not really give anything away. But yeah, theatrical trailer, longer trailer, we're probably gonna give you kind of a setup for what the movie is about, so I guess it just depends. I think you can trust me, though, that, again, I'm not going to give away anything that I feel as the filmmaker is going to, like, ruin the movie. I'm definitely not going to give away, like, you know, major moments. I'm not going to give away major plot reveals or anything like that. I know kind of the movie that I'm trying to orchestrate, I suppose, and the experience that I'm trying to orchestrate, and I kind of know inherently, as both the editor, the writer, and the director, what things I can give away that would still create a good experience. So that's kind of my thing about that. I saw a question earlier. Good job for making a 92 in your presentation, Jazz. Am I and Austin the only ones who have to work on the movie editing? Yes, I am a one-person post-production team. So basically the timeline for that is trying to get a rough cut, and by rough cut, we mean picture lock, and by picture lock, we mean basically the edit of the film. So all of the scenes in order with credits, basically a locked edit of the film. I want to have that done by the end of December. I send that to Austin. He uses the locked edit to make the music for it. And while he's making the music, I'll be working on polishing the edit in both sound and visuals. And that includes color grading, which I'm not going to have to do a whole lot of because the footage looks absolutely stunning coming out of the camera. But I will absolutely be doing color grading, certainly for some scenes. There's some scenes that I already know are giving me trouble because some of the lighting doesn't match from shot to shot because of conditions. But then I'll also be doing the visual effects, so all of Nine's LEDs, but we also have some additional visual effects on top of the LEDs, like we actually do the hand interface thing. That's going to be something that will have to be edited like multiple times, like 3 or 4 times throughout the film. We did a lot of it practically. We used latex shiny enamel gloves to kind of do some of it practically, but not all of it can be done practically, and a lot of that latex work will have to be polished in post or the wrinkles smoothed out or that sort of thing. So yeah, you'll have a lot of Android skin stuff that I have to work on. And then there's some other visual effects and overlays and stuff. And like, I mean, even simple stuff like that. At some point, characters will hold like a tablet that has information on it or something, so that has to be put on the tablet. Like screen stuff has to be done. So yeah, there's a lot of visual effects, and on top of that we have sound editing. So Austin captured really good sound for it, so I'm not going to have to do a whole lot of work, but it's still something that needs to be done. So after I do the rough cut of the edit, then we do the sound edit. So I have to go through and clean up everything, make sure everything's mixed and balanced properly, make sure that we're using mics that are the strongest for every line of dialogue, adding room tone, adding like sound effects and sound design and that sort of thing. And hopefully we can do that part of it in 3 months and release in April. It's my goal to have it out by like second week of April, because I want to beat Cyberpunk 2077. That's kind of important because I think that a lot of DBH fandom is going to migrate to Cyberpunk fandom. and is kind of going to get wrapped up in that, and that we might lose a lot of people if we release after Cyberpunk's release. So, yeah, I'm going to try to beat Cyberpunk. And on top of that, I do want to talk about this idea of a theatrical screening. So I have mentioned this before on Instagram, I think, as some of you might have seen it. And on top of that, I've talked a little bit, maybe even in the Discord about this. Basically, we, about halfway through filming, we talked about how this film is shot in 5.5K CinemaScope. It is stunning. It'll probably end up being rendered and output in 4K, even for YouTube. And it really is a shame to me that most people are going to watch this on their phone. Because I think that it deserves to be seen in a venue that is bigger. And it's really not probable to be able to do a big film festival run with this because it is a fan film and it will be posted online. There's a lot of things that film festivals will not like about it. But you can actually, as a creator, orchestrate a single screening for yourself. You can buy out a theater, that sort of thing, and host a screening of basically any film you want. And we were thinking that even just for the cast and crew and some of the diehard fans that we could, have open admission for, like people who want to come, it would be cool to, before we release the movie online, maybe about a week before, having a theatrical world premiere where we all get together again and go see the movie for the first time on the big screen, and then you guys join us. And we decided that New York would be the best place to do this because 3 of our actors, Chris Trinde, Jillian Gertz, and Carla Kim, all live there. So it's their home turf. It's very cheap for basically anyone to fly to New York. And a lot of you guys are actually within driving distance of New York. And anybody who's coming internationally, especially from Europe or that side of the world, would naturally fly into New York anyway. So it would be like a quicker flight than trying to come to like Charleston or Atlanta. So yeah, we're really, really excited about that. More information will come when it comes. We don't know what this is going to cost yet. It's probably going to be like several hundred or, even over $1,000 to rent out a theater. But New York, I think, has a lot of arts community and they have a lot of options, I'm sure, for venues that maybe won't be that expensive. And on top of that, we would probably, the screening itself would be free. I hope, because I think it would be good to just make the admission free, because again, it's a non-commercial project. We can't profit off of it. But maybe having an after party with us or something that has admission, and that would pay for us renting the theater and actually pay for us being able to do this, because right now we don't actually have the funds to be able to rent a theater or something. So all that's going to come together when it comes together. I think it'll be worth it no matter what. And I know some of you have already talked about wanting to come, even from the other side of the country. And I would love to meet a lot of you. And I think this would be a really cool experience, and a really cool way to do that is to share the movie with you early and to be able to have you watch it with us. And I'll be not watching it for the first time, and neither will Austin. But I think for Chris and Maximilian and Michael Smallwood and everybody else, it would be their first time seeing it. So it would be very special for them as well. And just, a way to get the band back together. We all got so close in the production that we kind of just want an excuse to see each other again, and all be in the same room again. And maybe from the other side of the world, Deb, we'll see. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any more questions about production or what's coming or anything like that. But while you think on that, I'll talk a little bit about Patreon. So Patreon, as you know, has been dead for 2 weeks because I've been recovering, and we've had, this movie, that we made. But I do have, all of our October postcards signed by Tiari Solis, and also our November postcards signed by Kristen Ciotti. So these will both go out in the same envelope this week. So if you've supported for both October and November, you'll get these at the same time. If you've only supported for one or the other, you'll get one or the other. I'll keep track of it. But basically, that this is me catching up and saving a stamp at the same time on both our November and our October postcards. I have a whole stack of lots of other postcards from a variety of other people that we got signed during DE, so that'll last us probably through like March. So we've got a lot of cool postcard designs and signatures from the DE cast and crew coming up in the coming months. And I'm not sure who's going to be next month. It might actually be Michael Daly. But other than that, we got a lot coming for you guys, so that's cool. As far as if I owe you a shout out from the set of DE, I have all of them. I just need to upload them to Google Drive and get them distributed, so that'll happen this week. As far as shout outs and calls for actual November, we'll get those set up more at the end of the month, and then for other little benefits for $1 patrons and also our videos, those will probably start getting edited this week and then start rolling out next month or next week, and I'll probably try to do catch up and post like 2 a week instead of 1 a week to be able to make up for this first couple weeks being off. So yeah, that's basically Patreon. We're going to get back on it. I really wanted to have like a big opwoo with like lots of stuff prepared and like really dive back into Patreon this week. However, between having to rest last week and also having 3 days of work in a film festival, I just literally have had no time in front of my computer. So this is my catch-up week. This is the week where I get my production schedule sort of organized and editorial calendar sort of organized for the next several months and sort of think about what I'm going to share with you guys at what time and that sort of thing. All things considered, with opwoo in the future and with streaming in the future, one thing that I want to do from now until DE's release, or starting next Monday when we return with opwoo, is I'd like to maybe reveal either one behind the scenes picture or like one production still or one like still from the movie like every Monday, and that'll be a thing through DE. But I gotta figure out which pictures I gotta show, so that's another thing is actually going through all the behind the scenes. I mean, I've got hundreds of gig of behind the scenes pictures and video and everything like that. And I've also got 10.5 hours of raw footage for the actual film. I have not seen remotely all of it yet. So, yeah, I just kind of have to go through it and look and see, all right, what do I want to share? What do I want to keep close to the vest? Like, what do I want to say for before release, after trailer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So things will be revealed in time, but I am trying to slowly like reveal certain things. When DE premieres, will there be another Q&A with the cast? So at the actual theatrical screening, we would definitely do a Q&A. However, we will certainly do a stream as well. I think we'll probably release DE on a Saturday this time, like a Saturday morning at like 10 a.m. So it's like optimized for everybody's time zone. And then I don't know if we would do something later that day. I feel like when I did something later in the day in Detroit Awakening, I was so unprepared for it and just scattered. So maybe like something on Sunday. I think with that Saturday, with that release day, I would kind of want to mostly talk to the other cast members and the other crew members, especially like Chris and Jillian and Carla, who have never experienced this before and will probably need me, Maximilian and Michael and Austin to be there for them and like help them through the experience of a launch like this. And so ultimately, I think that we would probably do like a post-mortem, like just a fun chat stream on that Sunday, and then maybe do like a Q&A stream the following weekend, because that would give you guys a lot of time, you know, a week to be able to watch the movie and really process it and come up with questions and be able to bring a lot to that Q&A stream. Because I think that doing the Q&A stream like 3 or 4 days after Detroit Awakening was really good for us, because you guys had watched it like 16 times each by that point. So you had really good questions because you had noticed things that you wouldn't notice on like a first watch. Although with DE being like 75 minutes or 70 minutes or whatever it's going to end up being, might be as low as 65, but it's definitely going to be over an hour. I feel like, I don't know how many times you guys are going to be able to rewatch it because it's so long, and it's not an easy watch all the time. There's some really heavy stuff in certain parts, but I'm sure there will be certain scenes that you guys will go back and like watch a lot, because I have. Uh, all right. Well, I've been going for about half an hour. Let me know if there's any other questions that you have, and I'll get to them. As I've said with streaming, there's no more streams this week. I haven't returned to the full schedule. We will be resuming other streams next week, hopefully. I think I'm going to dive back into Aviary Attorney first. That'll be fun. And on top of that, I'm not sure if we're going to keep Wednesday at 9 p.m. Might do like Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure. Opwu is moving to noon. I can tell you that this time slot for Opwu is here to stay. I'm going to push it from 10 a.m. to noon because I just don't get up that early. And especially with DE, I know that I'm going to be having a lot of late nights, and I don't want to. I'm never prepared at 10 a.m. But at noon, maybe I can be more prepared. They have people hands. Yep, I'm so excited to get back into Aviary Attorney. So I'll have to kind of decide like what my stream schedule is going to look like in the future. It's going to change a little, but Oppo is going to be Mondays at noon, and then I'm not really sure where other things will land. I think we're gonna maybe move away from doing Twitch Sings as much. We might do like 2 gameplay streams a week or something like that instead, because I've noticed like 2 issues that I have. One of which is we don't stream enough games to get through even like short games, like 8-hour games in a decent amount of time. And that would allow us to actually get through more gameplay. And on top of that, I feel like we've had a lot of technical difficulties with Twitch Things lately, especially with my computer. So it'll still be a special occasion thing. You know, we'll still do it now and then, but I just don't want to commit to having to do it like every week. Have I played Death Stranding? No. I'm watching Jacksepticeye's playthrough. I'm getting Outer Worlds this week, and I'm going to play Outer Worlds. Death Stranding is a game that I actually had to make this decision with myself. I was like, they're both $60, and I can't afford both. So which one do I buy? And ultimately, I decided that Outer Worlds is a game that I want to play and that I don't want to watch anybody else play. I don't enjoy watching Let's Plays of RPGs. I like to play them myself. So I was like, I definitely need to play Outer Worlds. And Death Stranding is mostly a movie, and the gameplay seems a little tedious. So I was like, I'll watch somebody else play this. And that's basically where I'm at. But yeah, Death Stranding's pretty cool. Kojima's gender politics are really bad in it. And that's disappointing because I do really like him, but oh my God, he's really bad to women. And it's always been that way, but it's really, really bad in Death Stranding. And like, there's even aphobia, like out of nowhere. It's just some stuff, man. So I'm like, I'm sticking with it and stuff, and I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, but maybe it's a good thing he doesn't get my money. Like, it's such a shame. Like, he's a really good game developer, but like, why do you need all that nonsense? Yeah, Outer Worlds does look good. I've heard nothing but good things. Michael Smallwood has been playing it, and he says it's really dope. So I trust his judgment. Fallout 4 is my favorite game of all time, so I think I'm gonna like Fallout in space, which is basically what Outer Worlds is. And there's also a game called After Party, which BlueAllesMedic, I believe, has been playing. Oh, BlueAllesMedic, let's talk about that. So I need to get confirmation on this, and I'm not gonna actually post anything about this until she does and we have confirmation of everything. But I have been asked on BlueAllesMedic's podcast on Twitch, and the date that we set was Sunday, this coming Sunday, November 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. I have not gotten confirmation from her for this. I know that she might be like MCM or something during that time, so that's we gotta just confirm that, she's available and that we're still on and everything. But I do have Michael Smallwood and Chris Trindade confirmed for that date to be joining me on the stream too. Maximilian's busy and Jillian's busy. Carla might be there. And then Brett might be there. So I gotta get confirmation on them and see who will be the one who joins us. But ultimately, yeah, Michael and Chris definitely joining me. And yeah, I'm gonna be on there. And I think she's talked about it before. She has talked about how she's gonna have us on the stream, but she hasn't she hasn't announced like when it's gonna be. But yeah, it's kind of a secret. Don't post anything about it because I want to let her post it. I want to let her actually be the one to share it and announce it and everything because it's her thing. And on top of that, I haven't gotten confirmation myself from her. Like, I sent her an email yesterday, and I know she's been super, super busy with her birthday and traveling and everything. So I don't know if she's, if she needs to change that date, you know, if she needs to, like, push it back or, like, change it to a different day. So, you know, keep that in mind. But if all goes according to plan, this Sunday, November 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern, we will be on BlueAllesMedic's podcast. So I will be sure when she shares the information to signal boost the hell out of it. I'll be, you know, announcing Chris and Michael being, you know, with me. And so prepare some questions for me, Chris, and Michael, because if you join that Twitch stream, it is an open Q&A, so you'll be able to talk to us about all sorts of things, and Blue has some of her own questions prepared as well. Yeah. I guess MCM is this weekend or something, but it'll be, yeah, I don't know. I would think she would be traveling or busy, so I don't know, maybe she'll be on hotel Wi-Fi and we'll just make it work. You know, streamers never stop even when they're traveling, so I don't know what the situation is, but I am trying to be mindful of the fact that I do know that like MCM and stuff is coming up, so that might interfere. So that's why I'm not like fully committing to like, oh yeah, this thing is happening. I wish I could meet you too, Simona. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know that she was talking about it a little bit, like on her last stream or whatever. I guess she just wasn't like formally announcing like who it was. So if she is kind of holding it close to the vest and she's suggesting that it's going to happen, but it just hasn't been like announced this week. Yeah, I would say that that's a good indication that things haven't changed. I'm just being paranoid. I'm just covering my ass. But yeah, that's something cool to look forward to. So even though, you know, this was kind of like impromptu and whatever, we do have another like real Q&A about the wrap coming up next this Sunday in like 6 days. That's really close. And I'll probably just gush on Chris the whole time because it's difficult not to do that in his presence. He's very magnanimous. But yeah, so I actually have a dental appointment at 2. That's fun. So I'm gonna head off and try to have some lunch before then. But thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for sticking with all this stuff in the past month. It's hard to believe that it's almost been a month since I was really even streaming, because that's how long it has taken to like get through the whole process of Detroit Evolution. It's been a whirlwind of both hard work and just wanting to crash into my bed. But things are going to go back to normal very soon with streaming and Patreon and everything else. And now that I have 10.5 hours of lovely raw footage and hours of behind the scenes content, I've got enough stuff to last for like the next year. So we're going to have a lot of fun up to the release of Detroit Evolution. I will keep you tuned in on what's happening. Thank you all for joining me, and stay great. Hydrate. I need to finish this. And have a happy time zone.